So now the next part is about the criminal case which I started in October 2025, after receiving, well, on top of course, a very harsh smear campaign, but multiple direct death threats against me and my family, my children as well. Some of them were open source, some were sent by email, and well, they were quite repetitive, and obviously I just had to protect my family. I mean, I'm used to it already. It's by far not the first time receiving threats constantly for last couple of years. But well, when it gets to my family, my children, for example, one important accident which happened is, for instance, that my computer of my wife was hacked, and there were certain photos of my children which I never published, neither my wife, we never published it, and then somebody did publish it with well, very clear threats against them, so which only can mean that my email, my hard disk of the computer was hacked. So the scale, I mean, once it started to happen, and once the accounts, for instance, the accounts from which these threats were sent were checked by professionals, and these accounts are extremely professional, very difficult to get any traces. So, well, I had to start, well, to protect my family. So I made a complaint. So there is a criminal case open. Very soon, the chief of police of Canton of Geneva, of the district, I mean one of the cantons in Switzerland, sent me a letter. So they provided me a certain security, police security, because, well, they understood as well it's not a joke. It's not just some random random tweets or random internet trolling. No, it is pretty serious. So yeah, and now what is happening now is that, well, of course, police has a lot of other things to do, investigators, so it's as usual, it's going pretty slow. I ordered, well, I had to, on my own expense, I found an intelligence company in Switzerland which is working, I mean, like detective in cybersecurity, etc. So finally they provided me with a report. So quite some names were identified by them. So I have forwarded this report to the investigators, and I know that they were contacting local in different countries of people who were identified, sending direct threats. So they were contacting, sending letters. I don't know much more at the moment, because of course they cannot provide me all the information, but the work is going on, again, slower than I wanted to, but hopefully it will end in well, in a certain detaining people, because the most important, of course, is not those who are sending the threats, but of course what matters is to get to the organizers of this campaign. By the way, yeah, the campaign was definitely unprecedented for the world of chess. So it was much harsher than even with Hans Niemann, with and believe me, it's true, tens of thousands of accounts which was specified on this, on sending threats, sending certain disinformation about me on all over social networks. Only on Twitter there were more than 1,000, and then I stopped counting. Actually, doesn't make sense. And only the accounts which were only specified to write about me. So they had no other activity, just only on me. So you understand that in such an amount, it's very obvious that so many people will not open, especially a new account, their incognito account, well, because most of them, they already have accounts and they're also incognito, so there is no point to open it and to start writing dirt or start threatening me and my family. So it's and then, so the report, I will just read you some parts of this report, which is like 40 pages report with a lot of concrete data also about some most active accounts, which some of them were identified, frankly some not. They were really professionally done, with all traces deleted. So, well, just a few sentences. Well, there are a lot of materials, screenshots and explanations, and yeah. So they also provided me an interaction graph map, so how it all looked like. So they say a total of 3,308 accounts. Well, this is only few days after the tragedy which happened. So when this organized campaign was at its peak, well, somebody needed to distract attention to from what happened and the reasons why it happened, the real reasons, towards somebody else. I was a good scapegoat, I suppose. So, a total of 3,308 accounts were analyzed, linked by 4,131 recorded interactions, which, when weighted by frequency, represent nearly 9,000 individual actions in total. Well, I mean, this language is a bit, for me, difficult to fully understand, so I just read. What immediately stands out is a stark imbalance. Only 135 accounts were actively sending content, while the remaining almost 3,200 were on the receiving end in some capacity. This kind of concentrated, one-directional structure is a hallmark of organized harassment. A small, tight-knit group systematically directing its activity outward. So then they're saying the harassment itself was focused on a single primary target. The breadth of the network reflects not the number of people harassed, but the deliberate amplification strategy of the core group. By involving of peripheral accounts, the attackers ensured maximum visibility for their campaign while keeping its true focus narrowly concentrated on one individual, Mr. Kramnik. So, for example, Mr. Kramnik, identified by his account on X, at VB Kramnik, received an aggregate weighted interaction of 485 from 132 unique source accounts. Well, it was just like 10 days or 2 weeks period was taken, making it the most widely targeted named account in the network by number of distinct attackers, which strongly corroborates the hypothesis of a campaign rooted in the chess community and its surrounding online ecosystem. Yeah, surprising. The network exhibits none of the characteristics of spontaneous organic activity. Reciprocity is negligible. Clustering among sources is limited to a small cohesive core. I don't understand what it means, but hope you do. And the targeting pattern is both focused and strategically dispersed. The data strongly supports the characterization of this network as a structured, mobilized harassment operation directed primarily at specific individual. Well, and so on and so on. So, well, let's hope there is not a slightest doubt that it's very well organized by a very serious structure. Frankly, I know what is the structure. I mean, the very big company which is working in this field, exactly in this field, but well, we need to wait for investigation, and well, hopefully we will finally, at the end of the day, Well, the criminals who organized it and who ordered to organize it, they will be punished, and yeah. But of course, there is no guarantee, because it's cross jurisdiction thing. A lot of letters has to be sent to different countries. It requires a certain cooperation from the police of different countries, and yeah, it will definitely take time, but hope finally this crime will be revealed, and the who are responsible for that will be punished legally.